back in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fight Pit. Welcome back. If you're returning, it is your boy Drew. We got Gage and Matt chilling with us today. We are covering the UFC Fight Night Tybura versus Spivac 2 going down on Saturday, August 10th at the UFC Apex. Roll that intro music. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. It's always nice to have you. We are the Fight Pit, and we cover every UFC card every single week that there is a UFC card. This one coming up that we are covering on August 10th, Marcin Tybura and Sergey Spivac, the rematch. We got a lot of rematches going on in the main events lately. That's cool. That's cool. We're going to get into it, give you some breakdowns, give you some bet picks, give you our predictions, let you know what's going to happen because we know stuff like that. We know stuff like that. But before we get too deep into it, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, pillowfight.co. Your sleep is important. If you didn't know, now you know. It's a third of your life. You got to take it seriously. Make sure you are sleeping and sleeping good too, getting that good REM sleep, that deep snoring, sheep jumping over the moon type of sleep. Pillow Fight has you covered. They have some of the best possible pillows that you could look for trying to get like a comfortable, restful night's sleep and be able to like take care of you physically too. If you're like me, I'm getting older. Sometimes I wake up from sleeping good and I just slept wrong and now I can't turn my head to the left all day. Pillow Fight can help with that. Blissfully soft and shockingly supportive, their commitment to premium foams and fibers provides superior comfort, all while being soft enough to cradle you to sleep. They are worth every penny. Make sure you invest in your rest, and every purchase at Pillow Fight allows them to donate pillows where they're needed most. Great cause, great products, great people. So thank you to Pillow Fight. If you want to learn more, or if you'd like to place an order, go to pillowfight.co and they will take care of you. Now we're getting into this fight night. Tybura Spivac. This one is number 8 versus number 9 in the division in the main event. And then we got a fairly sick card on this one. A lot of sleepers, but I think this is definitely going to be a card worth watching. I think there's going to be some money to be made on this one too, if I do say so myself. We got Gage and we got Matt in the Fight Pit with us today. We're going to start with the undercard. I'm going to gloss over the undercard, give you guys some names to look out for, and then we will hit our little ping pong picks all the way up to the co-main event and the main event. Starting out, we have Stephanie Luciano versus Talita Alencar. Now, this one is a rematch. We're starting out with a rematch. This one actually, they fought on the Dana White Contender Series last year, I believe, in September, and it went to a draw. This one was a pretty even fight. So this was a rematch that I think is going to be a pretty close one. I think it's going to be competitive. I think you should look out for Talita Alencar. They went to a draw the last one. Stephanie Luciano has not fought since then. Talita Alencar has fought in the UFC and defeated Rayan Dos Santos in December. So I think that's a good one to watch. I like Alencar in that one. Moving up the card, we got Yusuf Zalal and Jarno Aarons. Both of them coming off of wins last March. And then Yonata Denise versus Carl Williams. That's going to be a sick card. Matt, I think you had Yonata Denise in the last fight, or the last card that we did with you two. He's on a 7-fight win streak. He's undefeated 7-0, and he's on a 7-fight knockout streak. Going up against Carl Williams, who's 10-1, 3 KOs, 7 decisions. He's also on a 7-fight win streak, and he's coming off of a unanimous decision win over Justin Tafa. That's going to be a sick one. I do not see that one going to the cards at all. Carl Williams has has had in his last 7 fights 6 decisions and 1 TKO, but this one I don't think Yonata Denise is going to let this one go to a decision. I like Yonata Denise by knockout. I like under 2.5 on that one. So dribble those how you see fit. Number 8, Carol Rosa versus number 11, Pani Kianzad. This one, Carol Rosa just fought Irene Aldana in her last fight. This is number 8 versus number 11 in their division. So there's implications in this one, moving up, trying to crack the top 5 within the next couple fights or so. They're both coming off of losses to tough fighters, though. Rosa just dropped a unanimous decision to Irene Aldana, and Kianza just lost by submission to Macy Chazon last March. So both of them are looking to get back in the win column. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be competitive. I don't really know who I'm taking in that one. I want to say Rosa, but that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Johnny Parsons, Yusaka Kinoshita. That's going to be an exciting one. There's 11 KOs between them, 13 finishes between them. I don't see that one going to the cards. I don't have a pick for it just yet, but I think that one's going under 2.5 as well. And Toshiomi Kazama and Charalampos Gregorio. This, I believe, is the headliner. Maybe. They have a little bit different of a structuring on SureDog than they do on UFC, but I believe this one is the main or the prelim card featured fight. But this one's going to be sweet. I don't see this one going to the card either. We have Kazama is 2-3 in his last 5, but 4 of those fights were finishes. Just lost by TKO to Garrett Armfield back in last August. Gregorio is 8-4. He's got 6 KOs. He's 4-1 in his last 5. All 4 of those wins are by KO. I like Gregorio by KO in this one, but Kazama can get it done. That's a very tough. These are very we don't have the odds out for this one because we're doing it so early, but I think that these are going to be some pretty close fights. But those are the ones to look out for, in my opinion. Those are the ones that I would be looking at if you're looking to drop on any of the prelims. Yonata Denise, especially by KO. And I like a lot of these go under 2.5. So keep the eyes out for another draw in that first fight. They're coming off a draw against each other. Draw is usually pretty good money if you want to dribble a little bit on that one. Do you guys have any names on the prelims that everybody should look out for?
I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I think you
sweet
nailed them.
I did my homework. That's for damn sure. I might have did a little too much homework, but that work was done, baby. So we'll get on to the main card on this one, and like I said, the ordering. I think the ordering is still the same. It kind of bounced around a little bit on the websites, but the first one I got up is Alan Nascimento and Rafael Filo. I am throwing it to Matt on this one. Matt, that's the one you got, right? Yeah, Nascimento and Filo?
Yeah, that's the one that I got.
Okay, sweet. Well, kick us off, dude. Let us know how this main card is going to go down.
All righty, so we got Rafael Filio versus Alan Nascimento. Filio is actually very active in the last 2 years and a half. He has 4 fights, and on Alan, he has only 4 fights in the last 6 years. On Tapology, the odds are looking like Nascimento is a favorite, but I'm honestly going to have to go with Rafael. I think he's just been more active, even though Alan does train at Shootbox, with Charles Oliveira and all the big Brazilian stars. I just don't think he's active enough. I think that with how active Rafael is, he's just going to have a better feel in there. And I ultimately think that he's going to end up submitting him like he did in his last 2 UFC fights. His last one was actually by rear naked choke, and that's how I see it going as well.
I like it. That's exactly what I had too. I got Rafael Filo by decision under 2.5. Great minds, baby. Great minds.
Yes, sir.
This one, yeah, regardless of if Filo or Nascimento gets it, I think it's going to end a submission because they have 24 submission wins between them. So this one, I don't think, regardless of which way it goes, I think someone's getting tapped out. But I like Philo. I like Philo on that one. So good call. Good call. Kicking us off with a finish. Matt, do you have it going in a certain round?
I would say within the later rounds, I would say either the late second or early third.
Nice. Yeah, I got under 2.5 on that one too. Those guys, they're known to hang around for a little while too. Bunch of speedy little dudes down at that weight class. And the next one up, we are jumping to Uros Medic and Danny Barlow. Gage, let me know. You have Medic and Barlow? No? Lost the paper on this one. Hold up.
I don't even have them on this card.
Oh, Damon Jackson and Shepe Mariscal.
Yep, that is the one I have.
We go. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I have as Yana Santos and Chelsea Chandler as the next fight.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'll hit that one first then. Yeah, like I said, the ordering, I had trouble with the ordering because they were all different on all the different websites. So Yana Santos and Chelsea Chandler. This is gonna be an easy one for me. Number 12, Yana Santos versus number 14, Chelsea Chandler. Top 15 fights usually deliver as far as the action goes. The matchup I like. It's going to be interesting, I think. Yana Santos is 14-8. She's got 7 KO wins, 1 submission win, 6 decision wins. She's 2-3 in her last 5. 4 of those fights going to a decision. Her last fight was a split decision loss to Carol Rosa back in July 1st of last year. So it's officially been over a year since she was last in. Going up against Chelsea Chandler, 6-2, 2 KOs, 1 submission win, 3 decision wins, 4-1 in her last 5 with 2 finishes and 3 decisions, coming off of a unanimous decision win over Josiane Nunez back in March. And this one's going to be quick and easy. Chelsea Chandler is out of Stockton, California. Shout out to the Gracie Fighter homies, Stab Jitsu, Victor Galdon. There's never going to be a time when there's somebody from the 209 fighting in the UFC, and I'm not picking them. Chelsea Chandler, I do think has once the odds crack open, I think that it's going to be close, but I think Chelsea Chandler should be favored. But I don't know if they're going to favor her just because of Yana Santos's track record and with her longevity in the UFC. But I think Chelsea Chandler is going to get this one by a unanimous decision. I think that she's putting things together. She's getting her experience in the UFC at this point, and I believe it's going to start paying off. She looked great in her last one. Last one was a unanimous decision win over a tough fighter in Nunez. And just at that camp, that I know a lot of the guys out there too, a lot of my friends. That camp is very well rounded. They have high level jiu-jitsu, high level grappling, high level ground games, and they have some crisp boxing out there too. They have some really dedicated boxers, some really solid strikers out there. So I know that Chelsea Chandler is working with a lot of really, really good people, and people, you get the right people around you, like they have out there, and things start to click. You just keep putting in the work, you get that experience in, and things work themselves out. You can see the difference, and I believe that we've seen the difference in there in the recent years. So I'm going Chelsea Chandler by unanimous decision on this one. Hopefully she's plus money, because I would love to get some plus money on her, but I think it'll be pretty close. Like I say, Yana Santos hasn't been in there in over a year, so we'll see. But I like Chelsea Chandler to move up in the rankings. Right, she's number 14 right now, but I like her to move up in the rankings come this time next week. So we got a finish, and we got a decision, and we are throwing it back to Gage for Damon Jackson versus Shepe Mariscal to let us know how that one's going to go down.
I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. I would like to see what the odds come out on this. Because I don't think this is as close as the records really show. Let's start with Damon Jackson, the lesser known leech. He is absorbing more strikes than he's landing per minute, which is never a good thing, especially someone that does have power. And he's defending takedowns at 40%, which doesn't bode well when he's fighting Chippy Marskial, who's has a 40% takedown accuracy, which is nothing great either, but he does shoot. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight, is striking at a almost double landed to absorbed ratio, which doesn't bode well for the fighting side of Damon Jackson. I think he's outclassed on the ground and on the feet. And I just don't think he has more power to steer his opponent away from coming into the fire and testing it. I don't think he's going to have that respect going into it. And then he's just going to get swarmed pretty much is where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go Chippy Marskial knockout under 1.5.
Sick. I like it. Yeah, that one, I got a nagging suspicion that one's not going past the second round. I feel like that's gonna be another finish one we got on there. You said knockout under 1.5?
Yes.
Hell yes. Beautiful. 2 finishes, one.
It's also Chippy Marskial's 4th fight in the UFC. He's 3-0 in the UFC so far.
He's rolling. And Damon Jackson, I feel like Damon Jackson's been around a while. I feel like I've been hearing.
Damon Jackson's 35. Chippy Marskial is 31.
Okay. 14-1 is sweet. 14-1 is sweet. The under 1.5 on that one too. So we got 2 finishes and 1 decision so far. I like it. Those should be, regardless of whether the guys that we're picking are favorites or not, having those finishes will definitely be plus money. I think that'll be some good picks on those. And then we're going to get into the co-main event already. I love it. We got Chris Gutierrez versus Javid Basharat. Javid Basharat is 14-1. He's got 5 KOs, 6 submissions, 3 decision wins. He is 3-1-1 in his last 5. 4 of those went to a decision, and 1 was a no contest, coming off of a unanimous decision loss to Ayman Zahabi back in March. Prior to his last 2 fights, he was on a 14-fight win streak. This one, we're gonna have everybody drop in on this one. Of course, it's very difficult for me to pick against Chris Gutierrez because I love Chris Gutierrez so much. He's so much fun to watch, and he's got Chris Gutierrez is 20-6 and 2, and he's got 9 KOs, 1 submission, and 10 decision wins. He's 3-2 in his last 5, 2 KOs, 3 decisions. His last fight was a loss, though, unanimous decision loss to Song Yadong last December. I love Chris Gutierrez. I think this is going to be a really tough fight for him, though. Basharat looks, I don't want to say that this goes to a decision, but I feel like if Basharat has 11 stoppage wins, I feel like if he's going to beat Chris Gutierrez, he's going to need to take it to the cards because I don't see him finishing Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez, though, has 10 decision wins, though, so he's no stranger to winning on the cards. He knows what it takes to get the fight, to get it done in the fight. He knows what it takes to make sure that he is on the winning end if it does go to the cards. My heart says Chris Gutierrez. I'm going to say that this one goes under 2.5. I don't know exactly how he's going to finish it because, like I said, it's going to be a pretty tough fight. It's going to be evenly matched. But I'm going to say first official pick, Chris Gutierrez in this one. Gage, let's start with you.
This is also very, very good candidate for fight of the night here. As you said, it's going to be very, very, very close. Both these guys strike at a high clip. Javid Basharat's averaging over 5 strikes landed per minute with under 3 strikes absorbed per minute. And Chris Gutierrez is around a little over 4 strikes landed per minute against, again, a little under 3 strikes absorbed per minute. So both these guys are very efficient, throw a lot. Both have great takedown defense, but both can shoot if need be. So I think it's going to take that game out of it, really, for both of them. I don't see them pursuing a takedown that heavy and really wasting the energy, because I do think they both can stuff the first 2-3 takedowns and maybe, keep that out of the opponent's head, for both of these guys. This is sneaky to pick rounds because of how they throw, and they do have power, both of them. Chris Gutierrez's last knockout, I think, was against the knee against Frankie Edgar in the first round. And Basharat, before he got to the UFC, does have 11 stoppages, as Drew mentioned. So they could easily finish this in under 1.5. But both these guys also go to the cards. Especially Basharat in the UFC is all cards, 3 in a row. So it could be one of those sneaky fights where both these guys just touch each other up for 3 rounds and goes to the cards. Or there's going to be a lot of power between those strikes and it ends in 3 minutes. I'm gonna put my money on, say, over 1.5. Javid Basharat.
Ooh, love it. Love it. These odds, I can't imagine, are going to be too far apart.
I would say this is probably as much of a pick 'em as you can probably get.
Right. I wonder, Matt, did they have the odds on Tapology?
Yeah,
already?
The odds look like the community odds are 32% for Gutierrez and 68% for Basharat. So it looks like Basharat's a pretty big favorite, at least on Tapology here.
Okay, is that the consensus pick?
Is that the what? I'm sorry?
The consensus pick? Is that like what everybody's choosing so far?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's mainly by decision for Basharat. That's what it's the majority, 92.9%.
Damn, I'm part of this statistic.
Yep, Gage was part of the census that they pulled.
Yep.
There you go. I like that. That'd be a sweet, because then we would for sure, like you said, I think that if this goes to a decision, it's a shoo-in for fight of the night. If we don't get like a just absolute war out of somebody earlier, I think this is the one that'll take it for sure. I don't see the main event being able to do it. That'd be, I don't know. I still like Gutierrez and Basharat as the front runner for fight of the night. Definitely.
Yeah, so do I.
Matt, let me know what your official pick is on this one. How do you see this one going? Are you going to break the tie for us?
I'm going to have to go with Chris Gutierrez. I'm thinking like he did really well against Song Yadong, except for that last round where he shot the takedown. Not really good on the fight IQ bit, but at least in that round. But I think that he's really proved himself in that fight, and that even though it was a loss, Song Yadong went and fought against a barn burner fight against Piotr Jan, and I thought that was just kind of aged well. That even though it was a loss, I thought it kind of aged well, and I think he can get it done in this by decision.
Beautiful. That does make sense. Like I said, that's neither of these guys are at a loss if they do end up going to the later rounds. They both know what it takes to get it done and get it done on the scorecards and make sure that their hand gets raised if it does go the full distance. So I like it. We got two for Gutierrez. Bada bing. I'm gonna start posting all of our I've been tracking them. I just haven't been making as many in all of our full predictions and full bet picks on there ahead of time for like main cards and stuff, and then make sure I show the results too. So I always keep track of the results, but I haven't been doing the graphics for them. But let's finish it off with...
Since we were talking about baseball, Drew, Jazz Chisholm hit another home run.
Jeez. Is that 2 today then too?
5 since becoming a
Yankee. Guy. soon as people get to New York, dude, as soon as people get to New York, they just get a little fire lit up under their ass. Wasn't doing too bad in Miami either, so not super surprised. This feller versus number 9, Sergey Spivac. Spivac's one or the other. Marcin Tybura is 25-8. He's got 9 KO finishes, 7 submissions, 9 decision wins. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He's got out of those 5 fights, 3 of them went to a decision. 2 of them were finishes. He's coming off. Everybody on this card fucking fought last March, bro. Everybody. And Sergey Spivac is 16-4. He's got 7 KO wins, 7 submission wins, 2 decision wins, and he's also 3-2 in his last 5. 4 of those fights were KOs. 1 was a sub. So all 5 of his last fights ended before the final buzzer. He's coming off of a TKO loss to Cyril Gahn last September. I'll be honest, I always have a tendency to lean finish on this one, but as we always say, the heavyweight main events, as soon as we assume that it's going to be a finish, they go 5 rounds and absolutely decimate parlays across the universe. This one, I'm going to kick it back counterclockwise. Matt, we'll start with you on.
I'm going to say this one definitely goes to decision. I know it's a bit, with heavyweight, it's a bit tough to pick by decision, but I would have to say this one definitely goes to that. And then as far as my pick, I'm going to have to go with, this one's kind of like a throw him up in there. I would say Sergey Spivac. I would go with him by decision. You know, the last performance wasn't too great, but I know that I think he can get it done. And, you know, really, they're both kind of ground submission specialist kind of deal, or have a couple in the UFC. And I think he can take him down and kind of just hold him there the whole 5 rounds. Yeah, I think it's just probably going to be another boring UFC heavyweight main event, at least for the fight nights. Usually for the pay-per-views they deliver, but fight nights haven't been looking.
Unless the people fighting are Tom Aspinall, John Jones.
The skill gap between the top 5 and then the rest of the heavyweight is just so huge, I feel like.
You guys got me back now? Okay. I heard decision. Who did you say it was going to be a decision for?
I said it was going to be a decision for Sergey Spivac.
Spivac. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I would not be surprised at all. Like I said, I tend to lead more towards finish, so I feel like I'm going to lay more on a finish on this one too, but I'm definitely hedging because we got, especially with Tybura, 9 decisions. He's got as many decision wins as he has that he's been going, man. I would not be surprised one bit. Gage, let me know who you're going with on this one.
I'm also going Sergey Spivac here. Marcin Tybura looked dominant against Tybura for one reason. Ty has no takedown defense, has no ground game, and Marcin Tybura does. Sergey Spivac has ground game. He has submission wins, has takedown defense at a 70% clip. I think he's able to stay on the feet, and which he has the advantage on the feet. Has a lot of KO wins, has a lot of power. That being said, I do think it's going to be a grind out, feel out fest for the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I think things are going to start to get interesting at 3 and 4. And that's where it's going to get iffy if it gets a decision or not, is in those 3, 4. I think they gas out round 5, and it's going to be slow. But neither of these guys have gone 5 rounds. So I think it's going to, if it makes it to round 5, it's decision Sergey Spivac. And I'm also going to go and say it does get there. My bet for the fight, though, is over 2.5.
Spivac decision. Official pick, though, over 2.5.
Over 2.5, for sure.
Got you. And I can't say too much different other than I would say I'm going to hedge a little bit on under. I'd say under 2.5 just to be safe and hedge smart. But this, I definitely feel like this one is going to go to a decision, and it just makes me nervous because, like, I whenever I feel like it's going to be a finish, it's a decision. So now that I'm leaning decision, I always like someone's going to flash knockout in the first 30 seconds and just spoil it all.
I was just saying, if you're gonna fucking hedge, might as well fucking lay it on the fight to end in the first minute. Fucking send it.
Yep. Full send, baby. This one, I think if it gets past the first 2 rounds, I think it's going all the way. I don't see anybody getting it because, like you said, I think that the longer these big boys go, someone's gassing out. Someone's going to find a top position. Someone's going to hang there. The other person won't be able to get up. I think if that happens, I see it being more likely that Spivac would be the one because he's more of a full bore, like full speed ahead kind of guy once he gets going. They have close to the same amount of finishes, but Marcin Tybura has more fights. He's got 7 more decisions than Tybura does. So the official pick I'm going with on this one, I'm gonna say Spivac by second round TKO, but I for sure am going to make sure that I have bets with decision on this one too. I'm not, if I had like a under bet, I would do Spivac by TKO under 2.5, and then I would do Spivac by decision as next in line. So we are unanimous on that one. I like it. And I think just based on the trends, I feel like, and he's ranked number 8. I feel like Tybura is going to be the favorite in this one. So I think Spivac might even give us plus money, which is nice. Man, I forgot the ones from yesterday, but the lock and dog bets for this one. I know that I'm going Gutierrez and Basharat for fight of the night. The odds we don't have on this one, so we can't really do a lock and dog as far as the betting odds are concerned. But if you guys had to go lock somebody that you're like absolutely certain about on this one, someone you're for sure going to lay on everything, let me know who you guys' picks are, and we'll try to come to a Chepe Mariscal. Beautiful. I like that one. And that one we have as a finish too. So that'd be sweet if we could just get a quick freaking boom lock hit of the week. Matt, who do you got as your lock for this one?
I know it's heavyweight, but I'm going Spivac. I know it's anything can happen, but I'm still going with him. I got utter confidence in him.
Little risky going with the heavyweights. I dig it though.
Yeah.
Those ones, excuse me, those ones have been interesting lately too. They've been mixing it up a lot. We just had Aspinall knock out Curtis Blades in fucking exactly 1 minute. So mixing it up in the top 10 would be nice. And if Spivac does get the win over Tybura, I'm going to pull up the rankings right now. If he gets the win over Tybura, he definitely moves up a spot to number 8, I feel. And let me see who's right above them in the rankings at 6 and 7. I'm going to look and just try and see if there's any other possible fights that I want to see other than Aspinall and Jones.
Pereira.
Miocic is number 6. Pereira mixing it up in there too.
Bro, what Tom Aspinall said about that tournament, that 2 fights in one night, I am here for that.
Yes, me too.
We haven't had a UFC tournament in what, 10 years?
It's been a while. We've had some unofficial ones, but no actual like this coming out and saying like, hey, these 2 winners are gonna fight each other. We definitely need that. We definitely need that.
Like that hasn't happened in years.
Oh man, and like Aspinall versus Pereira is so scary. I'm not betting that at all. No, except for a finish. I might bet under 1.5, but that's going to be.
And he's getting fucking hammered.
Bro, it's going to be like minus 6,000. I swear. There's no way that they give us any way to make any money on that one.
Honestly, I'd chuck Tom Aspinall by submission.
He said he would go straight for a takedown if they were to fight. I saw that on an interview.
That's easy.
That would be the smart way to go with it. Just put your big old body on top of him, hold him there until he gives something up. Not to discredit Pereira's ground game at all, but you got the size advantage. He's got the catch.
Well, Tom isn't hitting the upper limits.
I wouldn't say he has the size in the sense that he's going to be a lot taller and a lot like pound difference, but I think just his mass, like his build, sure. I think he's a lot stockier. He's more of a natural. I feel like Pereira has to cut down to get to light heavyweight. I feel like Aspinall, I don't know if he would be able to cut down to light heavyweight. I don't know. Do you guys, would you ever think that Tom Aspinall could make 205?
Hell no. He's too damn big. I saw a picture of him the other day. He was like, this is me at 277 pounds. It's crazy. Dude had abs at like 300 pounds.
God, dude. Yeah, 277, man. I don't see him getting down to light heavy, let alone middleweight. I mean, Pereira made middleweight for a while.
Yeah.
For a while. He looked like he was having a damn interesting time doing it. I don't know how he did it and never miss weight, but yeah, I would see Aspinall just getting on top and hunting for something, smothering him out, trying to get him to tap from top pressure. I've been there.
Yeah, path of least resistance.
And with Pereira, ordinarily, I hate when people choose those types of game plans. But with Pereira, I would totally understand. I would not blame Tom Aspinall at all. At all. There was... Oh, the other thing I wanted to bring up before we wrap it up, our man Fluffy was on the Sphere card and got moved to, I think, October 19th. He's going to be the main event in Las Vegas against Michelle Pereira.
Ooh, that'll be a good one.
Anthony Hernandez main event versus Michelle Pereira at the Apex. Let me double check on the day. I believe it was 19th. I believe it is the 19th. But they were supposed to be on the Sphere card. Is that 306, I believe?
Yeah, that's 306.
Okay. So they moved it by about a month or so. They put it out. But I can't see it on the website. I'm going to just pull it up on Instagram.
I was real impressed with his last win, honestly, against Roman Kopylov.
And we called it too, like on one of our beginning of the year cards or beginning of the year episodes. We called him going up against Elidze next too, man. And I thought that we nailed that. But unfortunately, he had some stuff to work through, and he is now. I mean, I feel like it worked. I think it was 303. He was supposed to be on, and then the Sphere card, and now he's headlining. So getting taken off those cards, unfortunate, but getting to be a headliner for the first time is not a bad trade-off, I feel.
100%. What sucks is after, I think, UFC 305, it's like a huge break.
There is, yeah. We were bound for one too, man. We got super spoiled with the we got super spoiled right around that 300 time. So I understand. Just yesterday it was announced, Vince St. Preux is going to take on Ryan Spann on September 7th. That'll be interesting. Do we have any early predictions for that one?
Who was he going against, Ryan Spann?
Vince St. Preux, OSP.
OSP.
That'd be a tough one. I think everybody kind of wrote OSP off in his last one, and he pulled it out. Surprised everybody on that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then also, also announced yesterday, one that I know we are all going to have our eyes on, October 5th at UFC 307, Chris Action Man Curtis versus Kevin Trailblazer Holland
Man, that's
at
gonna be a good one.
middleweight. At middleweight. So we got middleweight Kevin Holland on this one. Very sad. I know when we do the breakdown, excuse me, when we do the breakdown for that 307 episode, I know what fight Gage is getting on that one.
Am I gonna have to look this up now?
I don't know. It's 307 October 5th. Doesn't say where on the card it is, but it's a pay-per-view, so I'd figure it's going to be around third or fourth fight on the main card. But middleweight Kevin Holland, whole different story on that one.
Oh, it's in Salt Lake City.
Ooh, elevation.
Ooh, a lot of decisions on the last
Yeah.
elevation card. A lot
Remember
of
that.
decisions on that last one. I don't care. I'm still going with a finish. See,
Honestly, you want to know what fight I want to see for 307?
what's that?
Max fucking Holloway.
Bro, I want to see.
Is it him and Tybura as a main event?
I want it to be. It should be.
Oh, okay. I see. That would be Max Holloway at elevation. Is Max Holloway at sea level is a motherfucker. Max Holloway at elevation, that is so difficult. That's got to be one of the hardest things in the world to do.
And then we have
100%.
what the co-main would be Evolov against Aljo.
That's a decision for sure.
Yeah. I feel that's I'm surprised they actually, after this past card that we had, they let Muhammad Makayev go.
Yeah, me too.
Anybody?
Yes, he's boring, but like a lot of people are. But like, look at Bilal Muhammad, he's the
champion.
It's because he was causing so many problems, like with the promoters and the fight matchmakers didn't like him, and Dana's gonna not sugarcoat it and make it like says a guy just boring and good luck in the PFL, but there was reason behind it.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's just a lot more behind the scenes.
Are you saying I'm going to get Rodriguez Luciendo?
No. Well, I mean, I was talking to Curtis and the Holland fight because I know Holland's your boy, but you're our resident women's MMA expert, so I would not be surprised if you
I also do really like Chris Curtis, but I gotta stay true to Kevin Holland.
You can't not. I totally understand. I love Chris Curtis. I love everybody in that camp. That's one of those camps that I'd be like, I'd be down to kick it with those guys. I'd be down to kick it with those guys for sure.
And I will say it until it happens. If we can get Kevin Holland on this show, man, I would lose my shit.
Every time that we mention it on here, I'm gonna clip it and fucking tag him from now on. I'm gonna make a montage. And eventually, we'll get to a point where he cannot fucking deny us anymore.
I mean,
he's gonna
stay with Aljo out when I reach out to Aljo before you fought on 300.
Yep, Aljo too. Marab is another one that I really want to get. Marab for sure. All the all the trolls I want to get. I want to get Marab. I want to get Kevin Holland, and I want to get Paulo Costa.
Oh, 100%.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. I'm gonna have to keep I'd have to keep track of the timer on there for when we can start getting ridiculous.
Also, the thing I sent you earlier, Shavkat Rakhmonov. If you can.
So do you? I mean, I don't see anybody beating Shavkat Rakhmonov, but I didn't see Bilal beating Leon Edwards either. So I gotta give it to him. He did. I mean, there were. When they went back to their corners in between rounds in that fight and came back out, and Leon Edwards was looking fresh and crisp again and Bilal was holding his own with the strike. He was pull countering. He was 1-2s down the pipe. He was landing those when Leon Edwards would shell up. Bilal Muhammad was coming in with uppercuts. Like his striking surprised me. It was very obvious that he was training with Habib because he looked very Habib-esque in that one. He had very basic, very tight, very crisp striking, nothing flashy, nothing crazy. But Man, did you when he dumped him on his head like that too, dude? Oh,
Which is a point deduction, by the way.
yeah, I don't know exactly how the rule reads, but I know that there's like some kind of tuck type of discrepancy where, like, if you go to like pick him up and he tucks in a way that positions himself to hit his own
The
head.
only way you can land on someone's head is if you're trying to get out of a submission, or if he twists his body in a way where he lands that due to his own momentum.
Yeah.
Well, I'll spike them straight on his fucking man. Except Leon put his hands down the second time.
Credit to Leon for being able to battle through that, dude.
But like a point deduction doesn't matter in the end. So
that's true.
My play, so I was already dead in the water.
Oh, Molly, heartbreaker.
Yeah. Did she break her ribs in the first round or something like
something like that? Yeah, she took a kick or so that I'm sure
was like
did something.
3-4 body shots in, and she was doubling over. I'm like, okay, either one got her and broke her rib. Like, what's going on here?
There had to be something up. That didn't go at all how I thought it was going to go. 100%. I wasn't surprised to see Muhammad Makayev get dropped, though, because like you guys said, that's a lot of so much drama going up to that one just to fucking
stare at each other the whole time.
Just to feel each other out for, like, I mean, you guys, you can't have multiple fights backstage and then let your fight go several minutes without throwing a strike. That was tough. Oh, and then the other one that I got lined up to drop to, Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. Evloev, before Mokayev got cut, it was Mokayev and Evloev. The two guys I just don't like watching at all.
I can't stand Evloev.
I mean, I'm going to say it again. Arnold Allen got fucking robbed.
Yeah. Allen won that fight. I should have won that parlay, and I should. I'm definitely going to file a complaint on that one at some point. I'm going to file a formal complaint, try to get it overturned. But the other one I had lined up, we got Cody Garbrandt versus Miles Johns coming up next too. That'll be sweet. That'll be an exciting one. Miles Johns, I believe, is coming off of a good win here in the last couple weeks, and always he's one of those guys. Like I always say, I don't care who he's going up against. I'm picking Cody Garbrandt. Does not matter. But that should be an exciting one. I think that'll be a good one. I don't think Cody looked as bad against Figueiredo as everybody thought that he was going to. So
I feel like he stunned him in one of the rounds. Figueiredo, forgot which. Yeah, it was like the second.
Yep, I felt that Figueiredo needed to get it to the ground and needed to keep it on the ground and needed to try to dominate on the ground, because I feel like the longer you stand with Cody Garbrandt, the more comfortable he gets, the more
it'll break you down,
more set and locked in. Yeah, we say it a lot. Cody Garbrandt on the 207 or whatever it was night that he beat Dominic Cruz, one of the best fighters of all time. But that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. That's some stuff to look forward to, and we got our picks in. Give it a quick little recap real quick. We are going Spivac unanimous in the main event. We have 2 for Chris Gutierrez and 1 for Javid Basharat in the co-main event. We're going with Mariscal by TKO under 1.5. We are going by Chelsea Chandler, unanimous decision. We're going Jafel Filo by submission. And the undercard fighters to look out for the most, the Carol Rosa Pani Kianzad. I like that one to go the distance. And Yonata Denise by KO. The Denise and Williams fight, I think if you don't feel comfortable keeping the KO streak alive for Yonata Denise, I say this one is under 2.5, 1,000,000%. Probably under 1.5, but I'd say under 2.5 on this one too. Those guys are both capable of getting a finish at any point. And then the first fight of the night, Stephanie Luciano and Talita Alencar. I like Alencar in that one, but I would drop just a couple drop a couple coins on a draw just in case. You never know. And it's usually like a plus 60 to 1 or something like that. So good money on that one if they end up going to a draw again. But that'll wrap it up, everybody. UFC Fight Night Tybura and Spivac 2 in the books. Count it. We will have the any updates that are coming out. We'll have those posted for you. We'll have all our results and our records updated for you guys too. So make sure you are following us on the official Fight Pit on Instagram. Subscribe to the Fight Pit House Call on YouTube right here. Tell your friends, share, let everybody else in on the action so we can all make some money together. And we will see you guys on the next one. I'm Drew. That's Gage. And that's Matt. We will be back here for the next UFC. We'll meet you back. Same time, same channel, baby.